stupid question. Nobody knows what happens next year. But if you had to, put all your money into one trade next year, what would it be? And I'll put Nick on the spot first. All your money into one trade next year, where would you go?
For a whole year, man, that is tricky. I think probably the answer I would gravitate to would probably be long S&P. I mean, I know you have recession fears and that sort of thing, and I saw some interesting stat that usually the announcement of a recession happens before a rally, and that's kind of like sketchy. But then again, that whole thing with the Biden administration, trying to quantify whether or not it was a recession, I don't know. To me, it was like the standard definition it was, the current.
So you actually think the recession is done? Like you?
No. I'm not saying I think it's done. I'm just saying, in terms of the definition, right? The two consecutive GDP outputs. But I think I think we're in the midst of it. We're going into it.
You think we're in the middle of a recession, and that means that the market is going to anticipate the turn out of a recession by next year, and we get a rally by the end of the year. Interesting.
I think in terms of actually, I should say NASDAQ instead of S&P. It's a higher risk trade because you've got the NASDAQ. I was looking at it historically; it can get annihilated in recessions. But I think in terms of if I had to park at one place, that'd be it. My name is Nick Syak, or Trader Nick on YouTube. I was actually featured on the Trade Zone with ACAP in the month of October this year, and they actually asked me to take a look at gold for the new year. So hope you guys are staying cozy during the holidays here, and let's take a quick look at gold and my thought process for next year. Now, one big thing I will say about gold is that this year it's gotten destroyed. With the Fed being so hawkish and the dollar being so strong, the gold market has declined pretty much all year. That is until about November. November, we actually saw a key breakout point on the gold chart. You can see we broke above this downward trend line. And the question is, why is that? And is it likely to continue into the new year? And one of the key reasons that I see for gold being potentially strong into the new year is that CPI numbers actually came out less than expected in the most recent reporting, indicating a possible turn in the Fed's objective of getting inflation under control. If inflation gets under control, it will likely mean the dollar comes down. It's not quite so strong and could ultimately lead to plenty of room for the gold market to expand amidst a dollar weakness or dollar crash. So when looking at gold into the new year, I expect most likely that inflation will continue to come down as forecasted. And if that happens, gold could see some continued rallies and perhaps even retest the highs of 2,000 and beyond per ounce. We'll take a look at that going into the new year and see. But overall, like I said, I think if CPI numbers continue to float to the downside, if we see that continue to decline as the Fed expects it to, gold could actually become a very strong asset to consider going into next year. Now, I will add this. Right now, we've got a nice start to this, but this is not a guarantee that we're going to see, a massive rally. Just because you get one cooler than expected inflation reading, it could still lead to more, uncertainty with the numbers. Now, here's what I will say about CPI and all of that. On top of CPI coming down, there is a lot of fear around recession. And oftentimes during a recession or high levels of unemployment area in markets, we often see gold do quite well. So that adds a potential extra reason for why gold could be strong into the new year. Here's what I will be looking for in order to potentially get long on gold myself. I want to see continued higher highs and higher lows on this market, and I'll be looking for pullback plays within gold for the remainder of this year, perhaps even going into next year, as well as CPI continuing to be weaker than expected. If you get weakness on CPI numbers, if you get beats on CPI numbers, meaning inflation continues to decline, that could lead to the dollar coming down and the gold market going up. Hey, guess what? I just found a video made just for you. Click this video to help with your trading, and thanks for watching.